This is my E46 M3, and the car is equipped with a factory radio, a business CD. As you can see, you do have the option to buy the car with a navigation system, which is gonna go right over here. But this one didn't came with one, so I went ahead and bought myself an AVIN head unit, which does look exactly the same as the factory one, but it's a lot more modern and it does have a lot more features, which is a good thing. I also bought a reverse camera, a windshield camera, which kind of look a little bit cheap, but it should be fine. The installation should be pretty much straightforward. I also bought the iBus, GPS map, and a better processor for the head unit, and some equalizer crap. So all this, it cost about $850, and you also need this trim piece, which is also not cheap, $200 for a trim piece, because you have your CD, then it's your climate control unit, and you have to relocate your climate control unit in this packet to be able to fit the head unit. And now this is about 1000 and something, which is not cheap for a head unit, but hopefully it should be worth it. So right now I'm gonna start taking apart all these trim pieces. You're gonna need something like this to pop out these trim pieces. You're gonna wedge it right over here, here, everywhere, and then it should come right out like this. You can see it does have a few clips here, and same for this here. There we go. And now you will see 4 screws, one here, here, and 2 here. And you can just pull out the head unit like this. I don't think you have to remove these 2 screws, but just in case. Alright, and you have a wire harness here. You have to unclip it. To pop out the climate control, you're just gonna push it from the back. Don't be scared to push a little bit more than you feel like it. It will pop out. It does have clips here. You have 2 more screws, one over here and one over here. And after this, you do have to remove the vents. And to do this, you're gonna pry them from up top, but you need to use both your hands like this. You feel like you're gonna break it, but you won't, don't worry. I mean, I don't promise anything, but you shouldn't. So you do have 2 clips here which are holding the vents, and I guess you'll have to push in, and it will be a lot easier to remove it. And now you just can remove it like this. And your next step is to pop out the shift boot, and you're doing it this, holding it like this and this, and you're just gonna pop it out. Pretty simple. And you have 2 screws here. And now you can remove the trim piece for the shifter, but before this, actually, you do have to disconnect the window switches from over here. Not too difficult, and you should be able to take it off. Like this, bam, and it's out of the way. And now you have 2 more screws here and over there. You have to unscrew them. Next step is to pop out the sunglass holder from the back like this. Bam, it's out of the way. And you can see there are 2 more screws you have to unscrew. And now you're just gonna pull it out, and you have to unclip the cigarette lighter and a few more wires down there, and it should come out right away. And that's it. My car came with an iPod add-on for the factory radio, so right now I'm going just to unplug all these extra wires, and I'm gonna use the wire for the iPod to run the new wires in the glove box for the USB flash. Before I put everything back together, I'm doing a quick test to make sure that the head unit is working. It does sound pretty good, and the only problem which I have so far is with the dash cam. It doesn't show up on the screen. The reverse camera is working out good, no problems. And for the dash cam, you're supposed to use this app so you can record it, but still doesn't show up on the screen. The actual dash cam is working since it does have a card, and when I took off the card and put it on the computer, I can see what it recorded, but for some reason it's not showing up on the screen. And that doesn't matter so much since I don't like how the camera is looking. It's really cheap looking, and I don't feel like it put it on the dash, on the windshield. It's gonna look pretty stupid. I'm gonna buy something better. I'm not gonna be able to use the head unit, but that doesn't matter. And the iBus is pretty much straightforward. So now let me put everything back together. I ran the USB cables to the glove box. I ran them through here. There is a hole. I don't know if this is a factory hole or someone did it, because here it was the iPod cable, so I'm not completely sure if it's a factory hole, but you can drill it. Most likely it's not factory. And I also ran the cable for the reverse camera pop of the glove box pretty much. There are 5-6 screws holding it, and I popped it off, and I ran the cable behind the glove box through here and up to here, and now I just have to keep going to the back. Done. The cable is ran to the back. It wasn't so fun since this section is pretty much a nightmare. So what I ended up doing is I ran the cable through here, then I made a hole here, and then on the back I came through here, and then this is the correct line to enter through, but I decided to use this grommet here, punch a hole, and then I made another hole through here, which is not the best thing you can do. Probably you can manage to run the wire through the whole section, but mine is already messed up, so I said one more hole, whatever, not big deal. I'm gonna tape it up anyway. So that's it pretty much for this. And now mounting the camera, which is another story. For the camera I was thinking it's a direct fit, but actually it isn't. You have to trim this section right here, otherwise it won't fit. And I also trimmed this area here on the clip for better fitting. And for the light you have to disassemble everything. I mean, not everything, but this piece, the top piece, then this one is over here, you have to take it off, and this one. And now I just have to cut these lines, splice them up with the AVIN, and I'm pretty much done. Let me show you how it fits, just a moment. So pretty much this is the final fitment. I mean, I'm going to put some seal here, since this one it's actually wider, and if I move the camera you see a hole, So I'll have to seal it up with silicone or something, I don't know. But other than this, that's it pretty much. This is how it turned out. I glued the back piece, as you can see. Not too bad. And for the camera I decided to use some double-siding tape. It doesn't look that pretty, but it will be fine for now at least. And nobody's gonna see it anyway. So that's it, it's installed. It is much pretty good with the rest of the interior. So let me just turn it on. Alright, this is the iBus. With iBus you can see your onboard computer, all the data, the range, consumption, fuel level, voltage, and the only thing which is not gonna show you is the oil temperature, since for some reason actually it's not working, and I don't know if there is any way to be fixed. When you go here on the PDC settings, you can see the actual car, and for example if I open the door, it's gonna show you the door is open. Gonna show you the high beam, the blinkers, which is kind of cool. And over here, actually when you first start the app, you have to go over here and unlock the actual app. As you can see, my vehicle is already unlocked, but you have to press unlock now and it will unlock it as long as they pay the license for you. Otherwise it won't. They didn't pay the license for me, so I had to contact them, and they did actually unlock it pretty quickly. I mean, they pay for the license. You can pay it yourself if you want, but that's another story. So the other problem which I had actually is that when I was locking and unlocking, this is related with iBus. When I was locking and unlocking the car, my driver blinker, the rear driver blinker, was staying on, the lights were flashing kind of weird. And now to fix this, what I did is pretty much I went to setting, and then you go in the resole module setting, and you're gonna go down, change module series, and you're gonna change to something else, let's say E83 or whatever you want. You're gonna go back. I didn't change anything, but that's what you gotta do. You can exit the app actually if you want, just to be sure that it will work, and then you go back in, and you're gonna switch again to E46, and this should fix your problem pretty much. After all this is done, you're still gonna have somewhat of a white show, but at least it's going to be a cool one. So let me show you. When you press the unlock button, as you can see, the fog lights are on, and they're gonna stay on for a little bit, and now they're gonna go off just in a second. And my angel eyes are staying on since they are connected to the dome lights, but they used to be like this, so that's not something new. And when you press the lock button, you see the fog lights are on, only the fog lights, and after a few seconds they're gonna go off, and your stop lights also is gonna be on. Most likely if you start messing with the settings, you can turn off the fog lights, but they don't bother me, so probably they're gonna stay like this. You can also do some coding, which is right over here, but I'm not going to mess with these settings for now. And you have a sport mode here with some gauges. They're pretty slow. As you can see, it's climbing now. It's showing me the temperature, but when I turn on the car, actually it's the lock, it's pretty bad. Now let's see some of the features. Oh, first let me show you the backup camera actually. As you can see, that's pretty good. Now the next thing is the GPS. You have to download this application, the iGo, and actually you can save some money, since I'm pretty sure you can find the maps for free, since I pay about 50 bucks. So this is a place where you can save some money. And the next thing you can save money is on the rear view camera. Probably you can find it a lot cheaper. And one other cool feature is that you can actually change your LEDs, the color of the LED of the buttons. As you can see, you can choose between different colors, and you also can make a custom color. So this way it will be pretty close to the stock one. But it's kind of difficult to dial in, but eventually you will. Just have to play around with it. What else? Pretty much that's the most interesting about this head unit. The rest of it is an Android tablet, pretty much. It does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. I don't know if you can see anything, but oh, one more thing. The amplifier, you can see it does have a lot of settings you can mess around, which is kind of cool. So, and one more thing I forgot to tell you, it's about this bottom trim piece, and particularly about the ashtray. My old trim does have a LED light here, and this one doesn't, and that's because they made about 1,000 different trims of it, and I kind of bought the wrong one. Actually, not 1,000, but probably 5-6 different of them, and I bought the one which they had in stock, and pretty much I think this was the cheapest one. But usually you're supposed to have a hole here, so you can plug your LED light here, but this doesn't have one, which kind of sucks, but it's alright. I deleted it. It's not a big deal for me. But this is something you can do the research and find the right one for you. Alright guys, that's it pretty much. Thanks for watching.
You are over the speed limit.